This video is documenting my personal and subjective experience over the course of an extended multi-day fast. The fast is about 48 hours underway, so my last meal was a little bit over 2 days ago, and I'm planning on going at least 72 hours and hopefully up to 120 hours or 5 days between my last meal and my next meal. For this fast specifically, I'm obviously not having any food or any other drinks that have any calories. Personally, I'm not going to drink any coffee or tea, although in previous fasts that I've done of anywhere from 60 to 80 hours, I have had some herbal tea without caffeine. I'm generally not a caffeine drinker. I'm going to have a little bit of salt. I had some salt for dinner tonight, just a little bit of salt water. And I might have some other electrolytes in the upcoming days, depending on how my body and brain are feeling. As I previously mentioned, it's been about 2 days since my last meal. I ate on Sunday night, and it's Tuesday night right now. On Monday, I did exercise a little bit. I ran 6 miles in the evening, and to be honest, I felt great. I couldn't even tell that I hadn't eaten for the past day. This was Monday night, so about 24 hours after I started. I did some calisthenics throughout the day, pull-ups, push-ups, crunches, squats, all body weight, no heavy resistance training. Just as with the running, all of these calisthenics felt completely normal. This was on the first day. Since then, today's Tuesday. I haven't exercised at all today except for walking just to do my normal daily activities, going to work. And part of the reason for that is today I felt much more fatigued, lethargic, overall worse than I did yesterday. At this point today, I definitely could tell that I had not eaten in a long time. It wasn't so much that I was hungry, although the hunger did come in waves, usually around the times when I would normally be eating. Outside of that hunger, I would have waves of fatigue come over me throughout the day where I would just want to sit down while I was at work, not walk around too much, not spend too much time standing, and I just felt a huge lack of motivation. However, this tended to wane after a couple of hours, and although I didn't feel normal after that time, I was able to go about my daily activities with little to no distraction. One thing that you might not expect or think about, but that I'm definitely noticing and have noticed in some of my previous fasts, is that my mouth feels extremely clean, even though I haven't changed anything about brushing, flossing, or any other part of my dental hygiene. Just because it's been so long since I ate and, my mouth is continuing to produce saliva, at this point it feels like my teeth are so clean that I must have just left the dentist. I plan on continuing to update my experience as the next couple of days go on and seeing how I feel I'm able to do regular activities, if I'm able to exercise again, and I'll be sure to document this as thoroughly as possible. In terms of the reasons for fasting, I'm not going to go over that in this video. I might talk about it in another video if viewers are interested, but I think that they're well documented by people who know a lot more about the subject than me, at least in terms of the physical and health benefits. And then, like I said, maybe in another video, I'll talk about my personal reasons for fasting. I also would like to say that I do not recommend that anybody try this lightly. If they do want to try it, make sure you do as much research as is humanly possible beforehand. You work your way up into longer and longer fasts. For example, start with intermittent or 1 day fast, then work up to 2, 3 day, multi-day fasts. And also be sure to talk to a doctor or medical professional before you make any decisions about cutting all nutrition out of your life for multiple days. All right, I'll see you guys in the next update. So tonight is Wednesday night, and it's been 3 days since I had my last meal Sunday for dinner. Just over 72, probably coming around 75 hours. By this time tomorrow, it will have definitely been the longest fast I've ever done. And even right now, it's closing in on probably around the longest that I've done, which is 80, maybe close to 85 hours. Some things I noticed today that were definitely stronger symptoms than yesterday is that whenever I was standing up or if I was walking up a flight of stairs, I would reliably feel a little bit lightheaded and start to lose my vision. This would subside after just a few seconds, but if I stood up too quickly, it definitely happened every time. Additionally, I had a really poor body temperature regulation, or I got sensitive to changes in the outside temperature. So it was a nice day out today. It was sunny and warm, and I found myself sweating way faster than I would even normally. And then when I got inside into the air conditioning, I felt way colder than I usually would have in that sort of environment. Also, I started to have a little bit of trouble just with moving around and coordination in general. Specifically, what I noticed was that sometimes when I was walking, I would find myself dragging my feet or shuffling instead of picking up my feet all the way off the ground. And just randomly, I would bump into objects that weren't really in my way and I normally would have avoided. Additionally, while I was at work today, I had the feeling that I needed to catch my breath, but it wasn't that I was um, gassed, like I just exercised really hard. It was more like just a feeling that I wanted to take a deep breath of fresh air. But whenever I did, it didn't relieve the feeling. So I would inhale, take a big inhale, and then the feeling would remain. I would kind of have like a little bit of just discomfort in my chest, not even a pain, just the urge to take a deep breath, but taking a deep breath didn't make it go away. After a couple of hours, or maybe even less, the feeling subsided, and now I feel fine. Outside of that, physically, I was okay. Um, I was able to go about my day, perform my normal activities as usual, even lift up a heavier air conditioning and move it around and install it in a window. So it wasn't like I was feeling super weak all the time. It was just that at certain moments there were there were smaller changes from my normal level of energy that I felt were definitely down today. I made sure to drink a lot of water again today, and I continued to eat a little bit of salt, nothing else. I had a couple of teaspoons of table salt spread throughout the afternoon and evening. I haven't had any other electrolytes, although I think tomorrow I definitely am going to heavily consider it because I've heard, I don't know how much truth there is to this, but I've heard that after 3 days, then it can start to become disruptive or even dangerous if you were to not go with electrolytes for that long. But we'll see how I feel tomorrow in the morning. Outside of that, the only significant drawback that I noticed was a little bit more irritability. Irritability. I was catching myself being a little bit snappier with people, just on edge more than I needed to, not as relaxed as I usually would be. But at other times, I was able to just talk to people completely normally. Wouldn't be able to tell that it's been a while since I last ate and that I was probably really hungry at the time. There were ebbs and flows to how much being hungry distracted me from my everyday life. So in the morning, particularly in the morning and early afternoon, I was really, really distracted. Not even hungry. I felt like I needed to eat, but not in the normal hunger pains that you would feel after maybe a day of not eating. It's just like a constant drone that you haven't eaten and you need to eat, and your body's just kind of pushing you to get food. But then starting later in the afternoon and into the evening, this kind of just went away. I was able to focus on my work more deeply, drive home, listen to a podcast, no distractions. And when I got home and was getting ready to spend time with my family around dinner, even though I wasn't eating dinner, I was able to just sit at the table with everybody else eating without having any strong temptations to eat. I kind of just was interacting as if I was at dinner normally, and I just knew I wasn't going to be eating it. It wasn't bothering me at all. All right, so tonight is the fourth night, end of the fourth day since I've last eaten. This update is going to be a little bit shorter just because a lot of the experience and my symptoms were the same as previous day, day 3. One thing I noticed that I hadn't noticed before today is that when I was lying on my back or reclining, I could feel my heartbeat strongly through my entire torso, in my stomach, in my chest. It wasn't the sort of painful throbbing that you feel in your head when you have a really bad headache, but it was just kind of like a low level, noticeable throb kind of throughout my stomach. Related to that, there were points when I felt like I needed to eat within the next hour, and then there were some points when I thought, wow, I could do this for another few days. I feel completely fine right now. I definitely still feel weak, fatigued, some loss of vision if I stand up too quickly or run too fast or try to exercise too much. That being said, we're coming up on the 100-hour mark. Actually, right now it's been about 4 days and 4 hours since I last ate, so that would put us right at 100 hours. So this is officially a 100-hour fast, and I'm planning on going till at least tomorrow night or maybe the following morning, depending on how I feel. And I'll probably have one final update. Maybe I'll have a quick video of my first bite of food before, at the end of all of this. But yeah, that's it for today. So see you guys in the final update. So today is day 5 of the fast. I'm gonna be finishing up in a couple hours. Actually, super excited to eat more so than ever before in my life. And one last kind of side effect that I noticed today. I actually noticed it yesterday, but I wasn't sure if it was related to the fast or not, so I didn't mention it. Is that my hip flexors and kind of the top of my quads are really sore for some reason. Even though the last time I did any exercise that would have related to that would have been Monday when I ran 6 miles. The only reason I could think of that would be the case is that because I have no calories, like much far less nutrition in my body, is that the delayed onset muscle soreness was extremely delayed from the run that I had on Monday. But it also could have something to do just with lack of nutrition in general, but I'm not sure. I just thought it would be good to mention this thing because honestly, it's kind of been not bothering me, but I've been able to notice it a lot more today, and I feel like it must be related in some way to not eating. All right, this is going to be the last update. I might shoot a really short clip of just me eating my first bite of food, but I hope you guys found this a little bit informative, and if you have any questions about things that I didn't cover, just let me know, and I'd be sure to either answer the questions in the comments or maybe upload another short video after this one. Thank you. To break the fast,